What is going on, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Small Town Cinema.
We're gonna get you.
I am your host, Johnny,
I'm Randy.
and we are discussing the 2013 Evil Dead film.
13 years later.
Randy has never seen this film whatsoever.
I have now completed my walk on the Evil Dead journey.
Yes, and our last episode was on Evil Dead Burn. And I was like, Randy, since we're already on this little path of Evil Dead, let's go ahead and check out 2013.
I will.
I think it's going to be really unique that here it is 13 years later, and we're getting a perspective from Randy, who has never seen the film, didn't know what the film was about.
Now, mind you, I didn't watch it because I just didn't want to watch it. I just never got around to watching it.
Right.
And I remember the trailer creeped me out.
Oh, yeah.
But
They filmed a scene for the trailer where Mia's character is possessed. She's a Deadite, and she's looking out of the basement, and she's going, "We're gonna get." That made me want to see it.
I kept watching this movie and thinking, when is it coming? When is it happening? And then he was like, no, that was just for the trailer. I was like, oh, sorry, sacks of crap.
Oh, man. But as always, you can always find us anywhere on any platform that you check out podcasts.
Anywhere?
Pretty much Spotify,
Apple Podcast?
Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Amazon Music.
What?
Yeah, iTunes.
Moving on up.
And if you're not watching this on YouTube, we have our own YouTube channel.
Hit the button down below.
Yes, click that subscribe button and hit that little bell button so you always know when we upload a new episode.
Ding.
Yeah,
That's
so
a pretty weak bell, but yeah.
I'd be all right. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into our review. So the plot of this film is Mia, who is a drug addict. She is determined to kick the habit once and for all. And she asked her brother, David, and his girlfriend, Natalie, to come to this cabin. It's their family cabin. And alongside with them, she has other friends with him. And she's wanting to kick this habit. They don't really ever say what kind of drug it is, really, do they?
No, I mean, they say she OD'd on it. It kind of looked like, to me, it looked like cocaine.
That's kind of what I was thinking, too.
But it could have been heroin.
Yeah. But, they get their friends to come with them, and pretty much she's in this remote forest cabin, and it's to help her through the withdrawals. And Eric finds a mysterious book of the dead at the cabin and reads aloud from it.
So dumb.
Like always. And pretty much it's awakened an ancient demon, and all hell breaks loose. And
literally.
Yes. And the entity ends up possessing Mia, and if you've seen the Evil Dead films,
you know where it goes.
You know where this is leading. Yes.
It just happens. You find a book wrapped in plastic, which is then wrapped in barbed wire. And your first thought is, yeah, let's open this bad boy up. Smart people are so stupid.
There's always one of the guys
so
or one of the character that makes you go, what an idiot.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah.
She could have been healed. She could have been freed from her addiction, and they could have been home watching SpongeBob. But no, he wanted to read a book, just like teachers do. That's why I don't read.
So,
I mean, I don't like reading, but yeah.
Well, Eric, who is the one that decided to read from this book, and you notice there's always a person that knows how to read the language and all this stuff.
Yeah, for just one time, I want to see an Evil Dead movie where they find the book, open it up, and read it, and they're like, Concoda? Conundrum?
Then you need to watch Army of Darkness when he couldn't even repeat 3 words.
I ain't talking about that. That's different.
No, what I want to see in an Evil Dead movie, I want to see somebody find the Book of the Dead, the Necronomicon, open it up, and see the first page and go, oh, hell no.
And what did I tell you? He opened it up. He started flipping through the pages. And I told him, I said, watch. Cuts his finger on the barbed wire and bleeds on the book. And what did he do? Cut his finger on the barbed wire and bled on the book. Like an idiot.
So IMDb scored this a 6.5 out of 10. And Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 64%. And I'm going to go ahead and say that I really enjoy this film. And I think it deserves better than a 64%. But it's not at the top of my list. But I mean, it always seems like the movies that I like, IMDb never really scores it to the level that I feel. You even say that as well.
Yeah, on IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes is like if the
Did I say
higher
IMDb or did I say Rotten
you said
Tomatoes?
IMDb.
My bad. Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes is like if the higher the score, usually the worse the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The lower the score, usually the better the movie.
Yeah.
This one's actually closer to where I would actually give it a rating, and it's not that. I mean, it's a ways off, but it's not normally like Rotten Tomatoes might have something at a 96%, and I'm like, no, this is hot booty water. But it's not totally off.
Okay, I
You
got
can't
you.
be too mad about them.
So,
Me, anyway.
what really sticks out to me about this film more than any of the other films in this franchise is I like the concept of they're going to a remote cabin to help a friend and a sister to overcome addiction.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that storyline.
Yeah. It gives it a reason for him to let it drag on with her being possessed, and them saying, well, that's just withdrawals. That's just her being sick and all this kind of stuff.
Yes.
So it's not immediately, hey, we're at the cabin, bam, she's possessed. There's a reason
Yes.
to think that she might not be possessed,
Yeah.
till she goes psycho.
But I feel like that storyline, as far as kicking addiction, I feel like it's realistic to where, they tell her brother, David, they're like, look, we've tried this before. And she lasted 8 hours and she was done. And then she OD'd, which he didn't even know she OD'd.
Mm-mm.
But I feel like the dynamic between each character was really good. I feel like that this would be a real tough situation to put your friend through.
Yeah.
And, he hasn't seen his sister in a while. And David and Mia, you can tell they care for each other, but then again, it's still not negative. It's still awkward between the both of them.
Yeah.
And you find out that their mother has passed away. She was dealing with sickness. And you find out that sometimes she would think Mia was David and Mia would play along.
Yeah.
So that kind of even goes in further to not help Mia's drug addiction. Losing your mother cannot be easy whatsoever.
Having to do it alone.
Right. But, and when she becomes a Deadite, I feel like they played off that very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, one thing that you pointed out, and I'm glad you did point it out, is this is the only film in the franchise where I feel like the Deadites are more like zombies.
Not so much Mia, because Mia felt like your classic Deadite.
Mm-hmm.
But Olivia, Natalie, and Eric,
Yes.
all of theirs felt more like zombies.
Yeah.
Eric's is the only one at the very end that actually said anything. No. Natalie did.
Yeah, Natalie
But,
did.
as far as characters go, we'll get to Natalie later. But they weren't your typical Deadite feel. I mean, you can watch Evil Dead Burns, and to me, that's when I think of Deadites from Evil Dead. That's more like what I picture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah.
One thing I will say is this film, I think what separates itself from the rest of them too is there's no real comedic aspect to anything whatsoever.
Well,
Except, and now this is just our opinion, but to me, I remember watching this in 2013 in the theater, and Eric's character takes a beating, and every time something else would happen to him, I was just like, goodness, dude.
there's a movie that I can't think of. Like every time this character was on the screen, they were getting hit by a car and always coming back, or they were doing something and then they would get hit with a hammer, or they would fall off a building, wake up, be okay. That's what I feel like. Eric was the Kenny of this movie. Dude took a whooping and kept going, and then just passed out in his buddy's arms. And his buddy was like, "Well, he's dead. Let's drown him." Like, what was that? Like, you don't know if he's dead. He just might have passed out.
He was gone. And okay, to me, the weakest link in this movie was Natalie.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And we did not discuss this before we started, but Natalie's character never really amounted to anything.
She was cannon fodder. That's all it was.
Yeah, like in the dynamic between her and David, didn't feel like boyfriend girlfriend. It just felt literally like she was part of the friend group and that was it.
Yep. Yeah, to me, if her character wasn't in it, you wouldn't have been able to tell any difference.
Exactly.
Because she was literally just there as a fifth body.
Yeah, yeah.
Which, if you watch the movie, you know that once 5 souls are collected from the thing, it's supposed to rain blood, and then he'll come back.
Yes.
Whoever he is.
Yes.
Honestly, I think that's the only reason they gave David a girlfriend.
Probably.
Because she had zero impact on the story whatsoever.
Yeah. But I like the subtle hints that they put in the film. Like when he's reading the Necronomicon, which they don't call it the Necronomicon, but when he's reading the Book of the Dead, it even has a drawing of Ash's hand with the middle finger up from Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn.
That's hilarious.
And I will say that I think that's one reason why when it first came out, the film didn't get received as much, is because a lot of the Evil Dead fans was like, you're doing an Evil Dead film without Ash?
Well, you think about it.
Because this is the first time without him.
When did Ash versus Evil Dead, when did it end?
2018.
Okay. And when did it start?
2016.
Okay. So this came out three years before Ash versus Evil Dead.
Yes.
So the only thing people have ever known from Evil Dead is Ash Williams.
Yes.
Now, granted, he didn't take full control until part 2.
Right.
But after part 2, Evil Dead was Ash Williams.
Mm-hmm.
So this was kind of like, and then this coming out before Ash versus Evil Dead, I feel like they had Ash versus Evil Dead in the works.
Yeah.
But I think they kind of wanted to figure out if it would work without him.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, I think like they probably had Ash versus Evil Dead in the works, and then they wanted to test the waters without Ash.
I can see that, definitely.
But then they put him in it anyway.
Yeah, that's I've heard fans say that this was a remake. I heard fans say that this is a new timeline. I really don't feel that way, because if you actually follow from the first one all the way through the original trilogy to this one, to Ash vs. Evil Dead, I mean, spoiler alert, if you have not seen this film, at the end of the credits, Ash does show up.
Long enough to go groovy.
Yeah.
So, hear me out.
Okay.
All right. The original Evil Dead,
Yes.
no comedy. For the most part.
Yeah. Huh.
Evil Dead 2, half serious, half comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Evil Dead 3, full-blown comedy.
Yeah.
Okay, no question about it.
Right.
For me, I can see this one being a remake of 2 instead of the original. I can see them saying, okay, let's graft off of the first one and stick with the serious side.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just, for me, it seems like I get the idea of this being in between Army of Darkness and Ash vs. Evil Dead. I get that aspect of it.
Yeah.
But to me, it would fit so much more if this was like, if they said 40 years later and it was a continuance from the original Evil Dead.
Yeah.
And then bam, this one.
Yeah.
So like Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
There's a point in Halloween where you can split off
Yes.
and go down like 2 or 3 different timelines.
Yes.
To me, that's almost what this seems like.
To
To me, this one seems like you start with the original
Mm-hmm.
and then it splits off into 2 different timelines. You can either go Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, Ash versus Evil Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can go original, Evil Dead Rise, Evil Dead Burns, Evil Dead Wrath.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it feels like to me. And it seriously comes down to the fact that one is more serious and then one is more comical.
And the only thing that, like, I could see that, like, especially with the new Halloween trilogy, people have talked about Halloween, Halloween 2018, kills and ends.
Yeah.
Some people could say, hey, Evil Dead, when we just watched, is the beginning of the new chapter. Yeah. So now they could extinguish all the old ones. Mm-hmm. Some people are saying this. My problem with that is the little things that they threw in this film does go back to Evil Dead 2.
And Army of Darkness.
Yes. So if this didn't have the timeline with the original 3,
That stuff wouldn't make sense.
exactly. And for Ash to show up just to say groovy would
Yeah.
make no sense whatsoever.
So it doesn't make sense for people that know the whole franchise,
Exactly.
but it could just be, oh, she found a chainsaw. Oh, her losing her hand and stuffing it inside the chainsaw, or like the
grip.
the grip of the chainsaw. That's just her getting a better grip,
Or the flipping off.
or the finger flipping off, and because there's words all written in the book and all this kind of stuff.
And another thing, the main page that they always show in this movie is the demon coming out reaching.
Yeah,
That is the cover of the original Evil Dead.
yeah.
So
So like when I said that there's no comedy in this
with
one,
me saying that,
yeah,
just want to show that I got that today, or not today, I got that last week. But that is the look
yeah.
that they keep showing. So
But see, and when I said there's no comedy, like the movie itself, no comedy in it. Like, other than for people that have seen the entire franchise and they know little hints and stuff about it. Like,
yeah,
as soon as she pulls something out and then there shows a chainsaw for a split second, you're like, ha, chainsaw. Or if you know Sam Raimi and then there's blood everywhere, this dude's got this has some kind of fetish, some blood fetish.
and that's the thing is, you can really tell when Sam Raimi has his hands into a film.
Yeah.
And I've heard people say, well, Rise didn't have any funny spots in it. I disagree. And apparently, and I did not know this because I've been watching some reviews ever since Evil Dead Burn come out. Apparently, a lot of people don't like Rise.
I've talked to a couple of people that didn't like it.
And I like Evil Dead Rise.
I thought it was good.
I think, what was her name? Emily? Is that the
actress's name?
No, the Deadite. I can't remember if that's her name or not.
You're talking about the
main mom.
See, I don't know her real name. She's always Queen Aslog from Vikings.
Okay, well,
But yeah, I know who you're talking about.
she's my favorite Deadite out of any of the Evil Dead franchise. And there is humor in it, especially like when she's looking in the door and she's like, Mommy, you don't look so good. She's like, it ain't nothing that a big old hug wouldn't fix from you. I like that. They do the whole, the guy swallowing the eyeball thing from Evil Dead 2. I thought Evil Dead Rise is a really good film.
Yeah.
But, you know, we talked about Evil Dead Burn. Now that it's been out for a while, I mean, I don't care if we tell any spoilers, but like the grandma was the funniest Deadite in that one.
And there were quite a few funny aspects in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't sit there and tell me whenever that grandma walks or crawls over to that chair and then she straps her to the chair and then hits the button and the grandma's just sitting there staring at you, just slowly moving down the stairs. You can't tell me that wasn't hilarious.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I love,
Subtle humor.
yes. And that's what I feel. I love action films. Randy loves comedy films. I mean, I do too. But I feel like this is why the horror genre is the best, because so many people are,
So many different opinions.
yes. And honestly, if you really stop and think, for real, a lot of horror fans are more diehard fans than comedy. Like, they take it serious.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's what I like about this genre is, you know, for Randy to say that he's told me before that the original Evil Dead is not his favorite. It's probably the weakest one. I have said that. The original Evil Dead is not one that I go back a lot to watch. Now, if I'm going to watch the franchise, I'm going to put it on.
There's not a single movie or the series that would stop me from sitting down and watching this from start to finish.
Right.
But it's like I told Johnny before. If I had to rank the entire universe, Army of Darkness is number 1. Ash vs. Evil Dead is number 2. Evil Dead 2 is 3rd. Rise is 4th. This one is 5th.
Okay.
And then you can literally take the original Evil Dead and Evil Dead Burns, and it just depends on the day.
Oh, yeah.
Because those, for me, are toss-ups between 6th and 7th.
And that's what I'm saying.
6, 7? Yeah, 7, right?
Yeah. And I've said it, if you've ever listened to me discuss the franchise, like out of all the horror genre, Halloween is my favorite franchise. But to me, The Evil Dead is the best as far as no bad film.
Yeah.
Even though you say, well, this one's my least favorite, but it's still a good film. Where Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Leprechaun, Scream, there's at least 1 to 2 bad films.
Scream's my favorite.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of them that just suck.
But like I said, it's one of those, if I ever say anything about, well, the original Evil Dead is not my favorite. Yeah. And I'm like, it's just my opinion, fellas.
There ain't a single person out there can tell me that Friday the 13th is your favorite horror franchise of all time, and they tell me Jason X was a good movie. Or Jason Goes to Hell.
I think you have not seen Jason X.
No, I've seen enough to know I don't like it.
But Jason Goes to Hell.
Jason Goes to Hell may be one of the worst horror movies I have ever laid eyes on. And there are some people that say, oh, it was a pretty good movie. No, it wasn't. No. Yeah. You're lying to yourself. Terrible. And anybody that ever never mind. Anyway.
So what really stood out to you in this film?
So I don't know what I was expecting. Mm-hmm. When you gave me the baseline of 1, 2, Army of Darkness, this one, Ash vs. Evil Dead, that put in my head, okay, this is the timeline that we're looking at here.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure what to expect. I thought there might be some comedy in it, because if it's in between the 2 funniest parts of the universe,
yeah,
surely there would be some comedy in it.
Right.
So I didn't go into it necessarily expecting anything overly comedic, because I have seen the trailer multiple times and seen clips and stuff from it. The thing that I took away from it is, for somebody that's never watched any of the franchise in general and they're watching it as a fresh watch, you would not be able to convince them that there was a funny movie or a funny series in the universe.
Yeah.
Because it didn't have anything in it. Now, if you're a veteran of the franchise, there are things in it that you will get a chuckle out of.
Yeah.
Because, again, subtle humor. Like when he's opening up the book and there's a deadite hand flipping you off, and then you've got all the words written down in it, and then you have the nod to the chainsaw.
Yeah.
And the nod to the boomstick for the whole movie, you know. And then you watch the end credit, and then you get Ash Williams just giving you a groovy. I mean, there are things about it that would make a diehard franchise person just crack up. Mm-hmm. But it's not, if you were watching it fresh, you wouldn't know anything about that, so you wouldn't have a laugh. This movie was freaky.
Yeah.
In so many different areas. The main character, Mia, what's her name? Jane Levi? Levy? Freaking awesome, dude. Mm-hmm. She did a great job. She is one of those facial actors that we've talked about. Her facial features. Like, I remember watching the trailer and the scene where she's sitting on the bed and talking to her brother, and she's got her eyes up like this.
Yes.
That's one of the freakiest looking, like, that woman was scared to death.
And you believed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
When she looks at him and she was like, we got to get out of here. And then he says up to her and she just...
You don't understand.
Yeah, and the way she shook her head. Yeah.
And her eyes wide open the whole time.
Yes. She is a phenomenal actress, man.
Yeah, she did an awesome job.
Yes.
Amazing job.
I can't wait for you to now watch Don't Breathe.
Now I want to.
Because she is great in that as well.
Yeah. What I liked in it was, again, I'm not a savant of horror movies like Johnny, but I like when he was looking through the book and it showed the different pictures of the different people in the book. And then that stuff started happening to different people. Mm-hmm. And then he would always go back to the book and it was like, wait a minute. This is happening. Like, this is connected. Yeah. That was almost how he was like, okay, this and this equal this. So this is life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
From the shower, from her cutting her face, from her cutting off her arm, everything.
Dude, the part that was like, to me, it's and it is the way they shot it with the camera angle and stuff is toward the end when David goes back to get the keys to the vehicle so him and Mia can get out of there. And we know Eric's dead, but now we don't know he's a Deadite. And out of nowhere, Eric shows up and he stabs David in the neck.
With the damn pliers.
Dude.
Or the wire cutters.
As he's backing out of the room and he's keeping an eye on Eric, Eric never moves. His head is the only thing that turns, and he's just focused on the camera, which is supposed to be what David is seeing.
Yeah.
But like when they round the corner, he never comes. He just stands there.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's actually pretty freaky. I did like that.
It has some good camera shots.
And this one, and I will say Burn, are the two so far in the franchise that has made me go, that I can't watch that part.
And it's little stuff.
And in this one, it was where Olivia is possessed and she has a freaking needle.
Daggum hypodermic needle.
And she gets on top of Eric and just starts going, and it's breaking through to his glasses, and he's putting his hand up and it's going through his palms. Well, then he knocks her off. He takes his glasses off, and dude, it's right underneath his eyeball.
He pulls his 3-inch.
Like that's one of those that I was like,
Yeah.
can't watch it. And where Evil Dead Burn is to me was the pin in the ear.
Whew, because it was so slow.
And that's how this one was like, just the whole, it's like, dude, yank it out.
Right.
But like, yeah, this one to me, like, I haven't watched this in a while, but when the parts were coming up, I was like, oh man, I was like, I remember this. And I just kind of have to look up, look down. All right.
But see, for me, it was some of the smaller stuff. Like, so when Natalie goes to the basement and Mia is just sitting at the bottom of the stairs crying, and Natalie starts walking down in there. It shuts her down in there, and then Mia starts walking up her. She gets this box cutter, and then Mia grabs it, flicks the whole box cutter out, and then just slowly licks it. That made me cringe.
Yeah.
The scene closer to the end where Mia's like hiding, I don't know if she's hiding in a wall or if I think she's hiding in the wall.
Yes.
She starts shoving this machete through there, and she shoves it through one time, or the
demon.
The demon does. And when he shoves it through one time, it catches her leg, and then he slowly pulls it back out and just
right across
slices
her
her
knee.
leg. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then does the same thing on her arm.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I don't know why. That just made me cringe so much. And I know what it is. It's the slow action of slicing that made it look so bad.
Well, just like Evil Dead Rise, everybody talks about the cheese grater on the calf when it's, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, to me, this is one of those where the film, anytime you watch it, you're still always going to be like, here it comes.
Yeah.
And like I said, the humor to me was Eric taking a massive beating. And I guess that shouldn't be humorous, but I remember watching it, and when Natalie comes and she's possessed and she has that crowbar, when she hits freaking Eric's left hand, splits it, and then she hits him again, and she just keeps going. And then all of a sudden, David pulls a shotgun up and shoots her. I was like, it's too late now, dude. I was like, if I was Eric, I'd be like, no, just let her in me, dude.
He done got a split she got multiple concussions.
Yeah.
Just let him go.
It had to break his arm. Remember, she's hit.
That one. That was another one. That when he had his arm up and she hit him as hard as she could with that crowbar, I could feel it in my arm.
But but like I said, to me, that was like, this dude may be the idiot who read from the Book of the Dead, but he's taking a beating and getting up from it.
That's why he took the beating.
But see, I thought he was possessed because there's one spot where Natalie turns back into herself and she's missing both arms. And she's like, David, why does my face hurt? And he's holding her head, well, holding her body, but he's got his head right here. And she dies, and you hear Eric just over there chuckling after he just got abused, like he's all beat up. And I was like,
That was the scene I didn't understand.
Thank you.
I didn't get that part. Like, I could have understand it if he had been possessed.
Yeah.
But he wasn't, because just after that, he walked down, or not just after that, but closer, a little bit farther, he walked down into the basement and
Save David
when Mia was, drowning him.
Yeah.
So he wasn't possessed. So that scene to me made no sense. I mean, the scene itself made sense, but him laughing after taking a beating like that didn't make any sense.
One thing we haven't pointed out that I really liked about this is Mia was the main villain. She was the main Deadite through the entire thing. And then at the end, she becomes the hero.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. And love it or hate it, but David had a smart idea about burying her.
And then bringing her back.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty slick.
I still think she's Ash's daughter. His illegitimate daughter.
Ash probably has a lot.
It wins. We've got a theory, and we have an idea for a final Evil Dead movie. So, Sam Raimi, if you're listening, we got you. We got an idea.
So let's go ahead and get into our ranking real quick. So, I'll go first. So, I'm going to give this movie a thumbs up. I enjoy this film. I do feel like it separates itself from the other films in the franchise where, good or bad, it doesn't have comedic aspect to it, but I feel like this is the more bloody and violent one out of all of them.
It's a Sam Raimi movie. It's going to be blood.
But Sam Raimi said, yes, I finally get to have blood raining. But
pouring from the sky.
Yes.
My life's ambitions come down to this.
But I enjoy this film. I recommend you to watch it. Even if you're not an Evil Dead fan, if you're a horror fan, I recommend you to watch it. So as far as a grade, man, I would give this movie, I'm going to give this movie a B+. I really enjoy it. And like I said, I'd add it to your collection.
Right on. So, long story, I also enjoyed the movie. And I would give it a thumbs up. I can say after I'm now completely caught up with all of the Evil Deads, Johnny knows I'm not a collector. And I'm not going to say I would collect it, for me personally. But if it went on sale for Voodoo for the entire franchise, I would be willing to buy the original, 2, Army of Darkness, Ash vs. Evil Dead, this one, Rise, Burns. I would buy every one of them. So I could have them where I could be like, you know what? I feel like watching Evil Dead. And I could just watch every one of them. I would buy it. I would consider buying it. Not to collect it, but so I could have it. Because like we said before, there's not a bad movie in this entire franchise. Right. Or a bad show.
Right.
Yeah, Natalie, she's the only downfall for me in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, usually casting isn't always an issue.
Yeah.
I mean, there was only 6 people in this whole movie, I think. If you don't count the beginning. But you could have taken her character out, and the only plot point that would have been missing is the 5 souls.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. She was literally there as cannon fodder.
Yeah.
Just so they could claim another.
They could have counted the dog.
I forgot. I forgot about the dog. Poor shepherd. Got beat with a hammer. Anyway. I mean, they could. Well, I don't think animals have souls, though. So. But yeah, as far as the cast goes, Natalie was the only downfall. Eric did get on my nerves sometimes.
Yes.
Because his acting wasn't that great.
But he was the whiny character as well.
And I think that's probably why he took a beating. Because he just, no. I mean, if I had to pick a number 2 as bad characters, his would have been number 2.
Gotcha.
But it wasn't bad enough where I could say, man, it's hard for me to watch it because of this person. She wasn't the main person and a bad actor at the same time.
Right.
So it didn't hurt the movie.
Right.
You know? I loved all the nods to everything that we've known about the Evil Dead franchise.
Mm-hmm.
All these years and people still read out of a book covered in barbed wire. I don't get it. I just don't understand it. But, you know, otherwise they wouldn't have a movie, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. If you're a collector, add it to your collection. Devote a shelf to it. Johnny's got 2 shelves devoted to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give it a B. I'll give it a good solid B.
Right on.
Good solid B.
Good deal. So, we'll go ahead and Sam Raimi, if you're listening.
If you ever, you know.
Me and Randy have been talking about what would make not only a good finale, but a good final film for the Evil Dead franchise.
So Johnny's already talked to
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell himself. Bruce Campbell loves how Ash vs. Evil Dead ended.
Yeah.
He's like, what better way? What'd he say?
He told me, because I asked Bruce, I said, you know, would you be willing to come back as Ash, or was you happy with the way it ended? And he said, man, he said, I'm 100% happy with the way Ash went out. He said, what more of a badass, is what he said, way for Ash to go out than to be with a hot smoking cyborg, got his hand back, got a cool hot rod, and to say his classic line, groovy. He's like, that's the best way to go out. And if that's cool with Bruce Campbell and he's happy, then I'm happy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's cool that that's how Ash ended. But go ahead.
And Johnny's even made the comment, if they ever did make another one, it wouldn't bother him if Ash Williams was killed off in the movie.
Yeah.
Because of the way that ended, finally put it to rest.
Yeah.
And it would also give them an out to say, all right, bam, now we can go on, and Ash isn't the focal point anymore. But we had an idea. We got an idea. All these surviving heroines from all the franchise come together in one final movie, and they all find out they're illegitimate daughters of Ash Williams.
Except for Pablo.
Oh, we're talking about Pablo. And Kelly. Kelly's obviously not. I mean, she could be, I guess.
But we're wanting Ash's daughter from the series.
Yep.
Pablo, Kelly, Mia, all the survivors from the finales, the main final girls, to show back up and to take on
one final battle.
Yes. I think it would be awesome.
That would be epic.
Yeah.
And it would be so poetic for it to be the illegitimate daughters of Ash Williams.
Yeah.
To all of them to go into this final battle.
It would be.
It would be hilarious. I'm telling you, it would be so awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm talking like modern aged Army of Darkness type of quality.
Right.
That's my opinion, you know. But
yeah.
I think it would be epic. I really do.
Well, we hope you guys and gals enjoyed our episode.
And yes, Sam Raimi, you can put Raimi, you can put all the blood you want to in it. That's fine.
All right. Well, we hope you guys and gals enjoyed our episode, and we don't know what our next episode is going to be, so it'd be a surprise to us just as much as it is to you.
Hey, how about that?
And as always, remember, we review the movies,
so you don't have to.
We're gonna get you, not another peep. Time to go to sleep.